as a baby. Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick, and I'm joined by a load of familiar faces from our Terraces group. We've got Ricky. How you doing, mate?
Not bad, mate. You?
Good. Yeah, not bad. We've got Adam. You?
Very good, mate. Thank you. Very good.
Good stuff. I'm going to whiz through these because we're going to get into what we've got to talk about. Avram, how are you, mate?
Pushty, mate. Hope you're well.
That's good. Yeah, it's a rhetorical question anyway. Ben, how you doing?
I'm all good, yeah. Thanks.
Good stuff. Right. Okay. Everyone's heard me sort of ramble on about this. The news today so far that we've been hearing come out in the press is what's his name? Edson Alvarez. He's going to be leaving. He's going to be leaving, and it ain't just that he's leaving. It's that he's leaving on a loan. I suppose I'll go round. Avram, what are your thoughts on this?
It's the wrong person to leave. Personally, he's 27. He's the captain of Mexico. He's just won that award, the golden ball or golden boot or something like that over in Mexico. His stock should be high, yet we seem to be flogging him for pittance. So no, I'm not happy. It just seems like it's a panic move from the club to buy more players, and also that Potter don't get along with him. Potter, in my opinion, can't deal with strong personalities, it seems, and that was evident when it was at Chelsea.
Yeah, no, that's certainly the way that I'm feeling about it. I mean, look, I'm devastated about it. I suppose I'll give my thoughts in a bit, but Ben, how about yourself, mate? What are your thoughts on Alvarez? What I'll do is, Ben, I'm going to turn you on and off because you're causing an echo. So
all right, sorry.
Yeah, no, go on, mate. Go on. When you're talking, you'll be all right.
What other club, just in the Premier League, would send their best midfielder out on loan? It's just not a single other club. It's just stupid, and he's just gone and had literally the best tournament we could have hoped for, and he could have built on that. And we're just going to send him packing. It's just stupid. It just don't make sense. And the fact that we're saying we've got to free up wages when we've got rid of, 10, 11 players?
That's bullshit.
It's bollocks. It's utter bollocks.
Well, apparently we've freed up 500 grand a week. We're freed up with the players that have gone already.
Yeah, it's bollocks.
So that's rubbish. It is frustrating. Adam, yourself, mate.
I mean, I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we're letting a player like that go. Someone that we desperately need, which is so obvious to everybody, apart from Graham Potter.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that obviously he's stuck up for himself, in terms of however, the conversations that he would have with Potter about tactics and things. Potter don't like it. He obviously can't manage him. So it's on your back kind of thing. Why it's a loan, it's a bit bizarre. I'm not sure why it's a loan.
It's obviously he's just had to get him out. He can't work with him in that environment.
I just think it's just so poorly managed, the whole thing, not just what Graham Potter does, but obviously the club itself, we know that. But I just can't get my head around why we're letting a player like that go, it could be so important for us. We need him in, and we're letting him go, and it just stinks, mate. It pisses me off, to be honest.
Less than 2 weeks left of the window as well.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. Ricky, how about yourself, mate?
Don't know what more I can say than what the others have said, mate. It's just so predictable, isn't it? That's the trouble with it. It's obvious it was going to happen. You start getting your hopes up a little bit when pre-season, and you think he's playing him. Maybe they've sorted out their differences, but yeah. It's just been so predictable, and it's starting to become the team we could have had again with the right manager. We've lost Kudus, never saw the best of him. Alvarez, never going to have seen the best of him. No doubt Paqueta, and we're going to be left with cloggers.
It's missed opportunity massively because we've done shows before. All of us did. I'm banging on relentlessly. It feels like now for like the last 2 years. The 3 players that are going to be going, because obviously, look, Kudus was earmarked for just get rid of him because we ain't using left wingers anyway. We can use the funds for him to rebuild the squad. So they wanted him out, but he's been made the bad guy, so he's gone. Alvarez is next. He's been made the bad guy as well. Bad attitude, bad egg in the camp. Even though when he was at Ajax, they absolutely had an amazing relationship with the fans. They created this fucking really emotional video for him when he left, and it was he's loved by his country. There was a statement that came out that I was pointed towards. Vladimir Sufel spoke about him just recently. Said he's an absolutely brilliant guy, just the sort of person you want around the changing room. He gets on with everyone, but he is a leader. He is competitive. So we're going to be losing him. And obviously, look, we know Paqueta's going to go as well. So that three should have been our midfield. And we haven't seen it once in 2 years. That could have been that. I mean, that is a competitive, balanced midfield. It is. When you look at like the likes of Newcastle, where they use like Guimaraes and Tonali and the other geezer, what's his name, Joe Linton. It's a balanced midfield. So it is a wasted opportunity, and it does feel like we're going to be going backwards. I mean, we've been going backwards for a while anyway, but we're not going to be able to attract the same level of player, Rick, are we?
No, that's the thing, mate. That's what I mean. It's the team we could have had, and if it was played to, half the potential it had, where could we have got to? And then, how much better could the team have got? But what other fucking club has 3 managers? 3 that don't fucking play. Who picked Suchek? I'm not digging him out, but or World Press. 3 fucking managers. It's ridiculous.
But it's still going on now. It's still happening now. It fucking it's driving me mad. But Ben, I'll go to you, mate. Take you off mute quick. What are your what do you think this means for West Ham right now? What's because I can't make it nor tell what the fuck's going on. I mean, we look shit already. Like we look as bad as any. I mean, I was taking the piss out of Everton the other night. We don't look much better. We're not any more effective. Not really. I think we're fucked. Where are we going? Are we going one way?
Yeah, we're on a downward trajectory at the moment, and the only way that can get better, you might get a short-term fix if you get rid of Potter and get a new manager, but the bigger picture is Sullivan at the end of the day, and that's the only way you're going to change that trajectory, in my opinion. Yeah.
Because I think a managerial change is something that, look, I know what people are saying. Getting rid of the manager does.
It'll be a short-term fix, in my opinion. If you get rid of Potter, short-term.
It's a short-term fix, but I suppose it depends whether you just want to ride this out. Because I agree, by the way, I think we will go full circle no matter what manager we get in. They've proved it. They fuck up whoever comes in. It never works in the long run. But what do you do? Do you just kind of stick with this and I mean, this feels a little bit, Adam, didn't it to you? Like they're almost preparing for the fucking drop here.
The thing is, Nick, I mean, we've been here time and time again. It's a vicious cycle. Get a manager in, let him have his rebuild. It lasts for 12 to 18 months. Then it goes stale because that manager's been found out. We sack him, we get someone else in that doesn't suit the players we've got. It's a constant cycle. We need a rebuild after rebuild. The thing is, with Graham Potter, the whole thing about what we spoke about in the summer, potentially with the window and how it was going to go, that Sullivan was going to set Potter up to fail. That's exactly how it's going.
Yeah.
The thing is, everyone is now targeting Potter, and that's the wrong thing to do, in my opinion, because it's deflecting away from the bigger issue. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't matter who is in charge. The players that we're going to get are going to be a combination of the manager's players and Sullivan's players. It's always going to be a mishmash because he always has to have his finger in his pie. That's it. It's never going to work completely. So the problem isn't the manager, isn't the players. Yes, I get Potter picks the players and the tactics, and it hasn't always been great. To be fair, it's not been great since he's been here. So he's not giving himself a good chance here. But David Sullivan was the one that brought him in. Whether he wanted him or not, he employed him. So we need to stop thinking about Potter being the problem. He's not helping himself, as I said. Yeah. But the problem is Sullivan.
So what you're saying is, if and when this fails, you've got to look beyond Potter. You've got to be because
Absolutely.
he does. He's done it over time. Sullivan. The shitty managers protect him, don't they?
Well, I was thinking about it. So after the game on Sunday, and I think I put it on the Terraces. The window's still open. which means while we can still sell players, we can still buy players. But if we was to get rid of Potter, because it's inevitable he's going to go, whether it's 5 games, 10 games,
of course it is.
He's going to go. So why not just do it now while we've still got a decent enough squad that's attractable to a certain manager that could potentially get the best out of the squad. And all of a sudden, if you've got a better progressive manager coming in with the current players, that will then attract other players. That was what my thought was after the game. And then I remembered who our owner is, and I thought, well, that's never going to fucking happen.
And obviously, I do think that once you start launching out the likes of Alvarez and Paqueta, well, are you going to attract at that? Are you going to attract at that point?
Exactly. So while the window is still open, yes, we can sell players, but we can also buy players. But if we wait until after the window, when these players would have been gone, who are we going to attract? We are going to be getting a Sean Dyche. We are going to be getting a Steve Cooper.
Yeah.
It's going to be those kind of managers because that's what our squad dictates we can get.
I just think if you go back in time, if you look at the style of managers, I said it on the video earlier on, the ones that have been, they've been successful for the job that they had to do, which was Allardyce, get us promoted, keep us in the league. Successful. He's done it. David Moyes, it was a successful period for him. It was, won us a cup, 3 years in Europe. But these managers, they're not good tactically. They're not good at, when it comes to fucking football. But what they are, they've got skin like fucking rhinos, and they're old-fashioned characters. And I just think that maybe, I don't know whether you need that type. I mean, I don't want that type of manager, but it's. I don't know. What do you do? What do you do when you got this fucking owner? Because he just seems to kill everyone. Look what he did to Bilic in that second year. He killed him. He killed Bilic.
I think the owner that we've got dictates the kind of manager we can get, and that's got to be someone like a Moyes and Allardyce who's got thick skin, and it's going to be someone like a Dyche. I mean, obviously Potter he's just wet behind the ears anyway. In terms of he obviously doesn't say anything, doesn't stand up for himself. He just goes along for the ride, which makes him more.
There is one name that was proposed earlier on that I wasn't even thinking about, and it's someone that I definitely wouldn't have wanted before Potter. But I saw it on the chat earlier on, because if you think about it, who are the names that come to mind when you think of Sullivan managers? You think of Cooper, you think of fucking Benitez, you think of Dyche, Moyes, obviously. But there is one which I think would probably be. He's got a bit of West Ham experience as well, and that's O'Neill, Gary O'Neill. I think wouldn't be like ideal for me, but he weren't doing a terrible job, was he, at Bournemouth? And obviously Areola's come in and revolutionised them, but fucking.
I don't know how good O'Neill would be in a relegation scrap. That's the thing. Because that's going to be our next manager, isn't it? He's going to be the next one that comes in. Is going to have to be the one to save us from going down. I don't think O'Neill is capable of that. To be honest, I'm not sure.
I've been thinking though, and it's a bad place to be, I suppose, to even think like it. But like you said, the root cause, the root cancer is Sullivan.
Yeah.
Does it take getting relegated?
Yeah.
Is it short-term pain, long-term gain? And when I mean long-term gain, someone said to me, 10 years in the Championship, you get your identity back. At the end of them 10 years, you've got West Ham back. Or 10 years, just this shit.
Because this is what it comes down to.
Slowly draining away the last of the.
Because what you're talking about there is pretty much what John was saying earlier on, and it comes down to what's more important to us as West Ham fans. We lost our stadium, lost our home, fucking change of badge. We've lost our football identity. We're losing the fan base as well. It's not really West Ham United anymore, is it? We're all fucking divided and arguing half the fan bases anyway. And I think maybe you do. I think you said the same tagline there that Ricky said there, didn't you, Abraham, earlier on, about it's got to get worse before it gets better. I think we're going to have to. Yeah. Mate, and I would look. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to go for a Premier League season watching us get relegated, because it's just going to be a world of pain. But if it happened, I would embrace it, because it wouldn't be the end of my world. And if it meant, like you said, Rick, if you offered me now, I don't know, 5 more years just existing in the Premier League with Sullivan, or get relegated and he fucks off, I know what I'm taking. All day long. And it's sad to be in that situation, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, you talk to other fans of other clubs, and they don't get it, do they? Because they just look at the table and you won a cup. But I honestly, the last 3 or 4 months going last season was a chore. And it wasn't even just being it was a chore. It was heartbreaking. This is Saint dying in front of my eyes. Saint's got to stop. This is bleeding to death.
Yeah.
And there's a point of no return. Do you know what I mean? And we may have even passed it, but
I think it has for a lot. I think it has for a lot of people. What was the official figures? The official figures were that we are something like 500 supporters shy of Upton Park's capacity in terms of people that first bought season tickets at the London Stadium, but have walked away since. So we've lost that many fans that have just completely they've wiped their mouths of it. Avram, what are your thoughts on that? I think it is pretty similar along those lines, isn't it? About
in terms of the manager, I think we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. If we go out now and get a new manager, it will just be rinse and repeat because of the ownership. That new manager, of course, will want his players, and then we just start the process again, and it's not financially viable. And then obviously sticking with Potter, he will continue to gut the squads to suit him. That I do not think will with the formation that he plays will be able to stay in the Premier League.
That's my biggest concern is this fucking shape that he's playing.
Is what? Yeah.
Is the wing backs?
Yeah.
Just like, mate, stop
massively. This team before any more players go, this team is crying out for a 4-3-3, right? Because then you can get your actual wingers in rather than just wing backs. You can get depth on the width. So like you get your Somervilles and your Luis Guilhermes and your Bowens out wide.
You ain't got to watch one of the fucking the Premier League's best right wingers dying up front either because he ain't a centre forward.
Yeah, exactly. But just going back on what Ricky was saying, I think I would take short-term pain for long-term gain. Definitely, I think this club does need to get worse before it gets better, and I would hate it. It would break my heart, but I would understand and I would embrace it the same as you if relegation got these owners out or certainly persuaded new owners to come in and have a hostile takeover of the club.
Yeah. Well, that's a fucking dream, isn't it? Well, we're talking about the hostile takeover. That's still something that's possible because the gold shares are still up for grabs. So Trip Smith, well, not so much Trip Smith. He's only got 10%. Kretinsky certainly could take over the controlling stake if he wanted to. The shares are there. He could buy them.
But I'm unsure of Kretinsky's agenda. He doesn't seem interested in the club.
No. It was only ever a short-term investment. It was. So I mean, look, just so that people have got a bit of, because I know a lot of people get a bit of a preconceived idea about me that I'm a little bit trigger happy with managers. I don't know why. I am. For me, I can see that Potter's. I think I'm not fucking. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. My gut feeling is that he's going to fail. That the other day just compounded it for me. So I would rather roll the dice again now. Personally, if it was me in control of this club, but it's not. I mean, I don't think we'd be in this situation because we'd have had a change in the summer. But I would go for a quick death, get someone else in, rather than doing what we're about to do. Because I think if you're going to stick with him, what's the point in... You can see it's going to fail. Why have we got to go through the 10-game palaver, waste a quarter of the season, then do it, and then you've got an uphill battle, and then you've got to get another manager in that is one of those, break glass in case of emergency, fucking pull out a David Moyes. That's what you've got to do. So just so that you know, that's how I feel. I know that Ben and Adam on Potter, they're a little bit different. They're a bit more patient. I think you're sort of somewhere in the middle, Avram, aren't you? With Potter.
Yeah. Although I think now I'm teetering on the point of I think I'm more Potter out than Potter in, just because these are alarm bells ringing in my mind, thinking about pre-season and going forward in this shape. Certainly Sunderland anyway, in the team he selected. If he's doing that against a newly promoted side, what's he going to do for the rest of the season? Especially when once he gets rid of the likes of Alvarez and potentially Paqueta.
Yeah.
Playing five at the back with Souček and James Ward-Prowse in the middle, we're just going to get destroyed, absolutely destroyed.
We're going to get destroyed. But I think the way I'm thinking about it with him, it ain't like with Moyes, where it was like fucking sack Moyes. I want him out. I'm not looking at it like this with Potter. I do think that there is a good coach in there with him. I do just think he's at the wrong club. I said this before he came. I said when he was at Brighton, he had the perfect, because you can see it when he talks. He's quite calm. You know, I just think, mate, you're in the lion's den here. You know, you're going to get eaten alive. I just feel like he's in the wrong fucking arena. I don't look at it as sacking Potter. I look at it as just paying him off, putting him out of his misery, and us going, you know, moving on a little bit quicker. Ben, you've got a different opinion of Potter, but what's your thoughts on it, mate? Gonna take you off mute.
See, he's going to fail. You can see he's going to fail. He's useless. He don't know what he's doing.
I thought you was a Potter fan. Oh, sorry, everyone.
No, I'm not.
God.
I was when he came in.
Yeah.
My opinion's changed. I wouldn't get rid of him though. I wouldn't get rid of him yet.
No.
Yeah. I'd probably give him another couple of games, and that depends. If we get spanked by Chelsea, I'll just get rid of him then. But at the end of the day, if he takes us down, he takes us down. I honestly think relegation might do us good.
What, a proper clear out?
Yeah, a proper clear out.
A clear out throughout the fucking club.
Yeah,
maybe.
it'll get rid of the tourists as well, won't it? So they'll piss off.
Yeah.
A couple of the old fans might even come back because the tourists are gone.
I don't reckon you'll see a lot of those fans come back until Sullivan goes. Until Sullivan goes.
Well, he might sell up and then they might come back.
Yeah.
You might get kids for £1 back and stuff like that, which is brilliant. But
I mean, the last time we got relegated, I mean, when you look at the crop of players that we got now, Adam, probably be a good opportunity for them as well if we were to go down.
Yeah, yeah. I think obviously with youngsters, because obviously a lot of the senior members would go.
Yeah.
We've opened doors for a lot of youngsters, and you know that would be quite exciting because we've seen a few of them in pre-season, which you know got the appetite a little bit. That was just a little bit of a tease, but just going back to what you said about me being patient with Potter, I'm not patient, mate. I'm not patient with him at all.
I'm sorry, we've got a load of Potter out on here. Sorry, I didn't realise that. It's bad design.
The thing is, actually, it's the Potter out. I mean,
yeah.
As much as I think he's going to fail, I kind of wanted to give him a bit of not a benefit of doubt, but it's just like I had that hope going into the season that something we might see a little bit of something. But after Sunday, for me, rip the band-aid off, get gone. You might as well
because he ain't going to get it. When he was at Brighton, he was hand selected and given the perfect pieces to do his job, mate. You've got to be good at polishing a turd at West Ham.
Absolutely, and he's going to fail. We know that. But whether it's 1 game, 5 games, 10 games, it doesn't really matter. He's going to go at some point. I'm positive of it. The only thing that will stop is if we pick up the odd result here and there, and we're just above the relegation zone come Christmas, and then from there, Sullivan will probably see it out because we know obviously in the summer there's that that break in the contract, which means you don't have to pay him off. That's the only reason why I can see. But I do fear that if we do keep him for the season, especially with these tactics and formations that he's playing, we will go down. And we've already had a few years now of shit football. And I'm getting fed up and bored of it now. I'm starting to become like a bit numb with West Ham.
Yeah.
Like at the weekend, I was at a wedding, and the guys, I was talking to a few Forest fans, a few Sheffield Wednesday fans, a few Man United fans, and they were all asking me, what do I think is going to be at the weekend score? And I was like, I think we're going to lose, but at best, I hope we'll probably get a point. That's not good. That's not showing any confidence in your team or the coach to say that you're against the first game in Premier League is against a new promoted team, albeit away, and it's going to be a cauldron. But
they were promoted for the playoffs as well.
Exactly, and to say that your best outcome is a draw, that's not great. So when we lost, I wasn't surprised. And at that point, I think, well, can I really do another season of piss poor football and getting frustrated? And I don't know if I can. So I'm on the verge of just walking away from it, really, just because I just think, well, what's the point? Because we're just in a vicious cycle constantly, year after year, and it's
you
won't
know, mate. You know you won't. You won't.
Well, this is the thing, you know, like when when I was about obviously, you know, getting relegated and whatnot, you know, just because I might not go to games every single week, West Ham's my team, and I'll always support West Ham no matter what division they're in. And there's a lot of fans that are like that. Those fans that have walked away from the London Stadium because of that dwarf that's in charge, right? And we get relegated, they will come back. I'm positive of it because West Ham's in their blood. Do you know what I mean?
We have look, listen, we've got a fucking huge sleeping support West Ham have, and I've said it several times over the past few days. You've only got to look back a few years to Prague. All those fans that were over there from fucking nowhere, you know, and then the very next day when we had the bus parade, you saw the people. There's a massive sleeping support there. Get the right owner in. I don't know, mate. It's but Rick, what would you do now at the moment? Do you feel like you've almost? I mean, in a sense, when you look at the fucking run of games we've got coming up, should we just use Potter to get through them games?
That's yeah. I was just going to say exactly that. There's a little bit. I get it is the owners, but equally, you know, if he's sanctioned buying that keeper for that sort of money, if he's sanctioned, which he clearly has with Alvarez, you know, how much did he object to Kudus going and to our arch rivals? I mean, he isn't totally exempt, is he, from what's happening in front of us, footballing wise, you know, as in on the pitch. So there's a bit of me that wants it to implode, ignite the anger in the fan base if there's any left, which do you know what wouldn't surprise me, because it just seems everyone towards the end of the last season just had nothing in them. It was just silence. There wasn't sense of humour. It's just dead.
I do feel like that if this season continues to go badly, though, whatever fans that we've got left in that stadium, for instance, I mean, John's let his season ticket go now after 21 years. He's a relatively calm bloke, John. Tells everyone. But if you saw him on that video earlier on, you can see the fucking, and he ain't like, you can see the passion and the hurt and the pain. I feel like this could be. I think if it blows, it's gonna blow properly this time, because I feel like they're really taking the piss. There's been too many sliding doors moments, like like we've always said, we had that chance, that platform after the European win, where we knew it was all wrong in the league. We had a 35-game relegation battle, but we had that fucking, that cup win that sort of gave us a chance again to go, and we had that core of good players. And he just completely and utterly he dismantled it. He fucked it up. I think I've said it before. We had Marco Silva that was lined up and ready to come in, but he decided to stick with Moyes. We would have been in the third year of Marco Silva's West Ham. And we've had loads of them sliding doors moments, Rick. I seem to remember you talking about the protest before COVID as well.
Yeah, I know. It was building a momentum, and COVID killed it. Literally, and like you said, he's got some lucky charm, Sullivan, because I don't know how he's got away with what he's got away with, but so there's a bit of me that, like I said, I see it short-term pain, but a run of some serious defeats, the fans getting angry, and finally getting together, and I mean, I don't know how many thousand this sort of petitions up to, but we should. With a fan base,
it's jumping up. It's jumping up now.
Yeah.
It's jumping up. I think
and it will look.
Yeah,
it's frustrating when people don't sign up to it and apathy and all that kicks in, but I think it could ignite and then it'd be like a snowball effect.
Well, I just hope though it goes against the board though, and it's not, and people are not deflected again from Potter, because if he loses these next few games, which is quite, it could easily happen, people are going to be jumping on the bandwagon, Potter out. Well. This is where, Adam, I think this is where I said this on the group earlier on. What you're talking about there is exactly right. So, for instance, Kerry, she went to you went to Sunderland away, Abraham, didn't you? And Kerry was there, and she had a face off with a bloke. A bloke got right in her face because, she's not a Potter fan, but she hates the board. Ultimately, she blames the board. And this guy, he's like a long-term West Ham fan. He's travelled over Europe when we was at European competitions. And he's like, no, it's not the board. It's just Potter. That is where I can see there being infighting.
I think
Well,
when
he's
it
a
kicks,
fucking idiot then, isn't
yeah, but I think it's going to kick off in the stands between West Ham fans before anything else,
he?
because it's too divided.
But this is Sullivan winning then, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
This is what he wants.
yeah, the thing is, we know if West Ham do well on the pitch, they completely forget about Sullivan as well, don't they? So
Yeah.
it's
every
there's
time.
a vicious. I think look, you don't want to see him fighting, you don't want to see people arguing with each other and all that. But I keep saying that short-term pain, whatever it takes. But I think this time there'll be more fans that will go, hang on a minute, what the fuck?
What's going on?
Doing? Now we're selling good players, especially if Paqueta goes, which is obviously going to go.
Yeah,
And you're watching that type of football. I think at least with Moyes, you had, the top 6 finishes and stuff. Then obviously the cup win, but that's dwindling. That's starting to become a long time memory now. It's ages ago. There's nothing recent to celebrate, is there at all?
Well, this is a thing generally. I mean, if you go back, West Ham fans still, on the whole, don't accept. We've still got our identity, how we want our teams to play football. So under Sam, look, you can look back retrospectively and you can go, yeah, look, he's done well, he's done his job. But at the time, it was fucking miserable. It was miserable watching it. And David Moyes, he had a good few years. I think most of us through COVID and all that, it was all right. When the counter-attack was working well, it was okay. But then it did turn to shit. But he did give us 3 years in football. But I think it goes to prove that even when you're getting a little bit of reward back, West Ham fans care more about their... We didn't start supporting West Ham to win anything. We're a little bit different to everyone else, I think. Well, the original fans are. It is all about entertainment. It isn't about one game in a season. It's about the whole, go back, I'll keep saying it, go back to 15, 16, where every game was just a fucking dream. Do you know what I mean?
Last time I gave up my season ticket, ironically, was under Fat Sam, and it was when we'd won promotion. I just had enough of that football, and I thought,
just couldn't bear it.
I missed the 15, 16 season, although I watched it in an armchair, and it was every minute, and excited. But it's always been about the football and the identity. Without that, it's unless you're winning stuff, then maybe it'd be palatable. If you are actually winning stuff with boring football, but if it's mid-table, it's not for me, mate.
We watch football to be entertained, don't we? I mean, we're West Ham fans, obviously. We talk about West Ham and being entertained, but let's be honest, even if we're not watching a West Ham game, you're watching another team. If that's a good game, you can appreciate and you feel entertained. That's the purpose of football. And we just have not been entertained for a long time now. And I'm bored of it.
It's so frustrating as well, though. It's like when I watch other games and other teams, they seem to be playing that type of football. There's teams playing that football that we want. We're now Leeds. In the minority.
Do you see Leeds?
Yeah.
Against Everton?
Yeah. On the front foot.
Now. Yeah.
It's scary to show how far behind we are when you look at everyone else.
Well, they took off 3 attacking tricky players and brought on 3 attacking tricky players. We ain't got 2 fucking attacking tricky players.
Look at the crowd on their side, isn't it? So you get a good atmosphere.
Yeah, it's Ellen Road though, isn't it? Yeah, any other fans of any other fucking teams, because we do get a few that watch these. If you are like a Palace fan or a Leeds fan or a Forest fan, don't ever fucking leave your stadium, ever.
No.
I'll speak to my mate who's a Bournemouth fan.
Don't ever do it.
Nick, I'll speak to my mate who's a Bournemouth fan, and he was. I was saying to him like, "Oh, what do you think of the Liverpool game? Obviously they lost it, didn't they? But he was like, I'm buzzing. It was a cracking watch. We attacked. We scored 2 goals. I was entertained as a Bournemouth fan. Yeah, we lost, but it was class still.
That Semenyo goal, fucking hell, he's a player.
I want that back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can watch your team, try and play entertaining football. The results are never guaranteed, obviously. But if you walk away from seeing a match and we've lost, but we've tried to entertain and tried to win the right way, you can now hold your hands up and say, look, we was beaten by a better team. Simple as that. You don't feel as frustrated because you've lost by trying to play well. Whereas at the moment we're not even doing that and we're still losing. And
It's just frustrating. And Ben, like going to you, mate, just take you off mute a little bit. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
Going to you, I just feel like we're getting into this possession-based football for possession's sake for possession's sake, when everyone else seems to be dropping away from it. I mean, if you look at even Man City, he was the one who really sort of brought in the ball playing goalkeeper, playing out from the back. He's going out there and getting, what's his name, Donnarumma, and he's selling Edison. And Donnarumma's a great goalkeeper, but he's conventional. He ain't playing fucking tippy-tappy at the back. So they're obviously changing the way they're playing a bit. If you look at the likes of Bournemouth, it's front press, front foot. Liverpool, a lot of these teams now are doing it.
Well, Man City have changed the way they play because they've got a lump up front now as well.
Yeah.
In Haaland, yeah.
But I just think this style of football in general for me now is fucking shit. That's what it is. I can't stand it. It's boring.
Yeah, it's boring.
It is, and look, I'm sure a couple of times a season you'll score one of them amazing goals where there's been about 50 passes, which will start from the goalkeeper, and you'll weave your way through the team.
Going back to that, does anyone remember the Jack Wilshere goal for Arsenal?
Yeah.
It's a great goal.
Against Norwich.
Yeah, but I'd much rather watch a 30-yard banger than that.
Oh, yeah, I would.
Yeah, they'll show it on like Match of the Day or something like that. Just, watch this goal. No, just show me a fucking rocket from 30 yards.
or someone dribbling from their own box to the other box and scoring. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Would it be good if we had a player like that could do that? Oh yeah, we did.
We did. Yeah.
the most exciting goals for me are the counter-attack goals. They're sort of the smash and grab really quick, like scoring about 3 moves. Boom, 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 bang, goal. You know, when I love that. I love that. So obviously the other team are attacking you, and then bang, transition straight down the other end. I love that. But you're not going to have that now. I mean, Rick, he said one of his statements before the Sunderland game was he wants us to score between defence and transition. Well, how the fuck are we going to score in transition when we ain't got no pace?
That's the idea. It just doesn't make no sense, does it?
No.
And that's the worrying thing is he's going to double down by the looks of it. You know, I don't see any change. Now you're getting rid of the personnel that could have changed it. How it can change. And is he going to play Potts? Is he just dangled in front of the fans pre-season? Because why wouldn't
I just feel like he's been cynical, right? When I look at his transfer strategy now and his priorities, which were selling Kudus, getting rid of him, buying in a left wing back that can only play left wing back. He ain't a left back, and he ain't going to be a left winger either because he can't beat a man. But he's great. He's got an engine. He's up and down. He's fine. He can get a good ball in. So we've got a left wing back, and then buying Hermansen as well. It's like he's almost got the pieces in place first to lock us into this new style of play before the priorities, which was fucking midfield. I mean, it just seems mental to me.
But that's why Will Price is his type of player.
Yeah.
Possession based broad press, isn't it? You know.
I think that's a tactic, though. I think with him now buying his goalkeeper and his left back, and I think that's to justify to the balls. I think we spoke about it, Nick. Like, obviously, he had a good idea the other day by the ball. Apparently, it will justify him keeping his job. They'll be like, "Oh, you're going to go," and he'll be like, "Oh, right, good luck at getting a new manager to get most out of these players," because now he's trying to we're backing him.
That's what I'm saying to you. We've kind of gone half into Potter now. I don't think that I fucking would. I'm not being funny. Look, Hermansen he's not going to be a terrible goalkeeper. I'm sure he's going to be fine. He's just got really little arms for a goalkeeper. That's it.
I mean, surely you want to have quite a long wingspan, really.
You don't. Yeah, I mean, these goalkeepers, right? Because I said it to John. It's like the one that we was linked with, which was that if you look at Areola in goal, the wingspan on the fucking bloke. So he might only be 3 inches taller, but he's probably got 3 inch longer reach on each arm. There's fucking massive difference in them goals. So you do kind of need that. I reckon he would have just stuck his arm out and said, because that header took an age to go into the goal, and he was sort of flapping, wasn't he? Flapping to get to it.
With our new keeper, I do feel a bit sorry for him because he's not the
one.
I
feel sorry for him.
He's not the one, he was chosen to be signed.
He didn't sign himself, no.
Exactly. And he didn't put himself in the team. That was Potter's fault. He shouldn't have been put straight in.
No.
But I think it might be yesterday.
And he's pissed Areola off now as well, because that's disrespectful to Areola what he's done.
Yeah. And that's disgusting. I mean, Areola's a fucking World Cup winner, for God's sake. So he's obviously got ability. Do you know what I mean? And you know my thoughts on it anyway, Nick. I'm a massive Areola fan, and spending 18 million on a position that we didn't need to just because a new goalkeeper could pass 5 yards is fucking bonkers when you consider the midfield is a priority. But what I can see is either Potter is locking himself in the club because of obviously with the players that he's brought in, or David Sullivan is allowing him to get his players in, knowing potentially they might fail, and then he's got a reason to hang it on him, more of a reason to blame it on him.
I don't think he'd have any hesitation in sacking this bloke, because obviously Sullivan lost a bit of credibility within the ball. I mean, he's got no credibility with us, but he lost a bit of credibility within the boardroom, Ben, when he when he got Loppy and Loppy fouled, and then obviously apparently Potter that was a board vote. You know, he got voted against, so he was kind of forced to bring Potter in. So do you feel like do you feel like Sullivan would get rid of him at the first opportunity?
Yeah, I reckon he would. I reckon he'd pull the trigger as soon as he can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because then he can probably line someone else up and get some more money. So if we look at whoever Salthouse has got as a client, as a manager, he'll just go and get him.
They've just never done that, though, have they? They've never pulled the trigger.
Oh, they did with Bilic.
They've done it with Loppy as well, really. Loppy was half a season. Not this early, though. Never this fucking
No, that's what I mean. I'm talking like this early.
Yeah, they've never done it this early.
Never this early.
It's not early, though, isn't it? It's not early. He's been with us in January. We've not seen anything. So it's not early.
Yeah.
What's the dynamic, though? Because obviously it was Brady who voted for him, wasn't it? It was Brady who brought him in. So it'd be a very interesting dynamic in the board. See, obviously,
got to even do with her, Shane. You've done it. I
know. But obviously, she backs him and he don't. So obviously, it'd be interesting to see a little power struggle there, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, there clearly is a bit of a power struggle. I don't fucking know. I'll just. I mean, where's the thing for me is, and this is what's. I've almost I feel a little bit defeated this year, because I know I moan a lot, and I've moaned a lot in a lot of seasons, and I've said we're going to be shit and we're going to get relegated, but I believe it this time. I actually quite believe it, and that's what's quite upsetting, really, because you're looking at it thinking, oh, we're a little bit fucked here, aren't we? We're a little bit fucked. I think we're going. I mean, we're all talking about relegation to be good for us, because I think we know we're going. I think we know we're going. We're sort of accepting it.
Do you see any similarities between this season and the season Grant took us down?
Yeah, we're not Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you could do it when you was at Upton Park as well. Yeah. But having said that, even in that stadium, we were saying it earlier on, I know it'd be a bit embarrassing having 20, 30,000 fans rocking around that stadium. But you know what? What would you rather? 60,000 of the current demographic of fans that we've got, or would you rather half of that with proper old school West Ham fans in the lower tiers?
Lower tiers. People just start standing with who they want to stand with. I think it'd be the only thing to get the last of the proper West Ham fans.
I think they would come back. 100% they would come back, because they would feel like, as we all would, that our team needs our help. Do you know what I mean? We're struggling. We've gone down. Taking out the equation of the reason why we've gone down is because of Sullivan and his constant, cycles of having to get shit managers in and rebuilding. That's the reason why, mismanagement. But as West Ham fans, we would feel like we need to support the team again. So I think 100% all the old OGs will come back if we got relegated. And then at that point, that's when fingers will start getting pointed at Sullivan while we're there. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got the OGs back in the stadium.
I just feel like the only thing. Go on, Ben. Sorry, mate.
With 30,000 in the stadium and the lower tiers, you'd get a better atmosphere than you would with 60 in the Premier League. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I say, if I could give you all an option, right? If I could say, right, tomorrow you're going to wake up. Fair enough. We know that Alvarez and Paqueta are going to go, but we would have signed, I don't know, Fernandez. We would have signed that Santos from Chelsea, and maybe that Macau. So 3 new players that we know probably not a lot about. We don't know how good they're going to be. So we could do that, or you could wake up in the morning. Potter's gone. We've decided to keep Alvarez. We're keeping Paqueta, right? And they unveil one at a time. They get him to walk out against Chelsea, right? You're there, Rick. You've had a change of heart because you're thinking, fuck, Potter's gone, but I'm going to go and see what's going on. First of all, they send out Mark Noble to the centre circle, right, with a coach's top on. Then they send out Julian Dix behind him, right? And then out walks Paolo Di Canio with a manager's coat on. Mate, honest. Oh.
Well, the reason I'm not going Friday is because I'm flying to Ibiza first
Oh,
thing.
right, okay,
That
okay.
morning. But I would just get on it if that had happened, and I would just go straight to the airport.
Could you imagine?
Oh, mate.
Oh,
Just and how much would that one simple change completely change the entire fucking dynamic and the mood around West Ham?
Yeah.
Do you know what? If we had an owner that gave a fuck about West Ham and the fans, that's something that would happen to bring them back on side.
Yeah.
Because he don't give a shit, he won't. Plus, I don't think the Canio would stand for the bullshit that fucking Sullivan would give him anyway. Do you know what I mean?
We need it.
So,
you know, but I think, do you know what? It's not that we need it. I think it depends what Sullivan wants from his investment. I think he gets these weak managers in on purpose because he likes to try and manipulate them. But clearly, surely he will be able to see at this point, this ain't fucking working. He would have benefited more from having somebody with a pair of bollocks that said, no, you're not fucking doing that. We're doing this.
Well, think about it like this way. Like we could have signed, you mentioned it early on on the Terraces, Nick. We could have signed Eze for 25 million and they're selling them to Spurs for 90 million.
Yeah.
Now, do you think if we'd have got Eze for 25 million, do you think we were selling him for 90 million now? Absolutely not.
That's not.
No chance, because we don't have the managers that increase value with our players. And that comes down to
that can develop them. That can develop them.
So that just goes to show.
But isn't it funny though, like how easily when we're sitting here, we're all dejected, and you can think of something simple like that, and you think it's pie in the sky, but is it? You know, because Di Canio would jump at that fucking job. He would jump at that fucking job. You know, and if you had Noble in there, you had Dix. You know, mate, I just think it would just be electric. In the stadium, I reckon those season tickets would fucking sell out like that as well. They'd be rarer than rocking all shit, and it would just be fucking unbelievable. I wouldn't even give a fuck about the football at that point. I just think you'd just be watching Paolo on the sidelines.
What if it was shit though? Because we've been left with a shit squad.
But I don't think it would be shit because there would be drama. There'd be passion. There'd be drama.
Yeah.
You know.
But also as well, like even if it was shit. It'd be like the old West Ham where they give it its all. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it would be, you know, losing 1 or 2-0 to a better side. But do you know what? They absolutely run the socks off, and they gave it their all, and that's all you ask for as a West Ham fan. So I think people would jump at it, and I think Paolo would as well. Like, Paolo in, come on, get in.
Well, different circumstances, different people. But yeah, remember when Brookins stepped in for Roda.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember that, like, going to that first game, and it was
special, wasn't it?
Yeah, special. So it'd be like along those sort of lines. Yeah,
it would be.
The atmosphere would be buzzing. The atmosphere would be buzzing as well. Just singing amazing. Paolo Di Canio all game.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
No, it'd be brilliant.
Just seeing him knee sliding when we score, knee sliding down the line.
Yeah,
you know,
pushing that over.
Yeah, because the thing is with someone like that, he would look. Listen, there would definitely be issues within the club. I think there's certain players that you can see straight away that he'd probably fall out with. Someone like Tadebo, who's a little bit lackadaisical. He's zero tolerance.
Yeah,
he fell out with. Yeah. Did you see that story?
Yeah.
Oh, so funny, mate, isn't it? Was it Wes said? He said you're gonna have to go on a coach. Paolo's gonna fucking empty you out. He's gonna empty you out. He said.
But I like that. That's what we need. We need someone that's got a bit of bollocks. You know what I mean? That's not just going to be like that with the players, but going to be like that with the running of the club. This is my team. I'm going to run it this way, and that's how it should be.
But more than anything else, what does that trio bring back? It brings back West Ham. It brings back our identity. It brings back a bit of heart and soul, straight away, just like that. 3 little changes. You've got Freddie Potts there, ready to come in. He's ready to come in. We'd have a player on the pitch as well, and we've got more that could come in. You've got Earthy, you've got Alford, you've got fucking Fearon now that we've seen. That could be sort of, you know, given minutes throughout the season. He might be too young, but I don't buy that. I think if you're good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I'd have Village back.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Village and Di Canio.
Yeah. I can see Di Canio as an assistant manager, and you'd have Village as manager. That'd be class.
But do you not think in this type of season where we're clearly fucking in shit? And a fuse does need to be lit. If you had an owner that really kind of gave a shit That is the sort of thing that they would do. I mean, that would literally, because even if they got rid of Alvarez at this point, we all love Alvarez, but if they unveiled that tomorrow, we'd forget about Alvarez.
Yeah.
you would. You'd forget. But that's what we need. That's what we
Do
need.
you know what? If we sold Alvarez tomorrow and after that we unveiled Di Canio, I think Alvarez will get on the plane back and say, "No, I'm staying."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he knows for the fact that someone like Di Canio, he would love a player like Alvarez, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just think maybe that's a petition we need to start. Get Paolo in.
Paolo in. I'll tell you what, that'll fly. That will get more signatures, I reckon.
Probably fucking would do as well. I reckon it would do.
I thought even if Noble went in for Caretaker for 3 or 4 games,
Just won't do it though, will he?
The atmosphere and the passion and then
I think he's too clever, Rick. I think he knows how they work and he knows how they shaft people. I think that's what it is.
But going on Noble, like, surely he knows what's going on at the club.
Of course he does.
I don't. It does annoy me how silent he is.
I think because he knows what's going on, and that's why he's staying in the under 21s all the time, isn't he? Because he doesn't want to make that jump because he knows exactly what's going on and doesn't want us to think he's part of it. I think that's what it'll be.
He got on very well with starting, apparently. So I mean that was that's another one. That's another sliding doors moment as well. When you look at how we've struggled this year, you know, just getting players in and getting players out as well. We just didn't have that issue with starting. We didn't have it. All of a sudden, deals were just, you know, you was literally, you weren't really hearing about things. All of a sudden, you see Romano with that wicked fucking jet plane pick. Now that was quality, wasn't it? That was rock and roll, wasn't it? We haven't seen that before. And it just seemed like when he wanted to, he didn't do it with a Duran deal, but that was more Sullivan. He had the Duran deal done. The reason that didn't happen was because Sullivan he refused to pay an extra 3 million, 4 million for him, which is what Villa wanted.
But again, he weren't allowed to do the role properly, was he?
No, he weren't.
No. He had his fingerprints all over it. But you saw how efficient he could be because Luis Guilherme was signed on the first week of the transfer window opening. And like, when we ever see that before?
Yeah, and he's a good player. He's a good player. But I think like last year, what we could have had, no, if you'd have pulled Duran in, you'd have had Duran up front, Bowen on the right, you know? You could have had Kudus, Paqueta, and fucking Alvarez in the middle. I mean, that would have been like an easy top 6 team. But
got Callum Wilson. It's all right, Nick. Got Callum Wilson.
But it's, I've done my prediction earlier on. I don't know whether you heard it. I put Areola at left back.
Yeah.
I put Areola at left back, and so I'm literally going through the team now, and I'm sort of starting to rack my brains, and I'm putting Aguirre, who's not even a left back, at left back. I'm putting Mavropanos, who I don't really overly rate, but he's the only one that can head the ball at centre back. I've got Todibo there, who I don't really trust because he just always looks stoned as the other centre back. You got Wan-Bissaka, and you got Areola, who I would put in because I do trust him. I know he's not perfect and he makes the odd mistake, but I do trust him. But then in the middle, like I was going Alvarez, he's got to go CDM. Well, he's gone now. That ain't going to happen. And I was going Potts and Paqueta. So I'm going 4-3-3. And I said, you play Bowen on the right. It's gonna have to. We ain't got a left winger now, so it's gonna have to be Diouf, who ain't a left winger. And I said, you can't really play Fulkrug because I like Fulkrug, but he ain't been very good. So probably out of the players that we've got, as much as I hate to say it, it's got to be Wilson down the middle. Fucking Callum Wilson,
not Marshall.
Oh, I don't know. I'll give it a go. I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no to Marshall.
Couldn't be much worse, could it? Really?
No.
He scored in pretty much every pre-season game. And
he's what he looks like though. Marshall to me looks like the perfect impact player at the moment. Someone that you can bring off the bench is a bit of a game changer. He's dynamic.
But they've got to be given a run, ain't they? That's the thing. They've got to be given a run. They can't just have 1-2 games.
Who was your third midfielder, Nick?
Well, no, it was Alvarez, Potts, and Paqueta. But now I've lost one.
But who is it? So it's Potts, Paqueta, and who else you put in there?
What now?
Prowse?
Yeah. Is it Sussex or Prowse?
Oh.
That's
Do you know what? I'd probably put Kilman there.
It's depressing.
Kilman?
I'll put Kilman CDM.
That ain't a bad idea.
Nah.
Purely because he ain't bad on the ball, really.
It ain't a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
You know,
what I would do is I would put our most. I think Toddy would be good at CDM as well, because they're all ballers in a way. These CDMs, if you look at Aguirre, Kilman, and Toddy, they're all good on the ball. They're just not very good at defending. So I think any of them could kind of do that role. You would think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
think he could have Tadiba. He's too lackadaisical. I don't think he'd have the concentration to do it.
It just makes me. I think. Do you know? I think he's class, Tadibo, but he makes me nervous.
Yeah. I don't think he's aggressive enough as a centre half.
He can be. Do you not remember when he first came in? He made his debut, and Duran was playing for Villa, and he was absolutely beasting us.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, he went straight on and beasted Duran, like fucking was all over him. I think he can be. He can be. What about you, Ben? What are your thoughts now on our perfect 11?
On our perfect 11? Oh God.
Would Jamie Vardy get in it if we signed Jamie Vardy?
Oh, he'd go straight in the team, I think.
That's bad, isn't it?
That is bad. Yeah.
Isn't it bad?
It's awful. He'd be our starting striker.
See, what manager really are we going to have come in and sort this shit out now?
Sean Dyche.
Especially if you don't sign him.
I mean, it's becoming laughable, isn't it, really? That, you know, to think that we've been in that stadium for 10 years now and we're supposed to be, you know, going up levels and stuff like that. And now look at what we're dealing with. Do you know what I mean? We're laughing at the fact is that potentially we might be having a Jamie Vardy out front because Callum Wilson that we've currently got is going to be injured and Fulkrug's obviously injured. And this is the state of where we are at the moment. We're talking about putting centre halves and CDMs because we haven't got the squad, because we're getting rid of all the players. It's ridiculous, the situation that we're in. And it has becoming laughable now, isn't it?
But Adam, let's lean on your sort of technical expertise in finance, right? West Ham, we moved to this London stadium. You know, world-class team, world-class stadium. It was going to make us more money. We've got the lowest rent by a mile out of anyone in the Premier League. We've got a massive home attendance as well, one of the highest in the league, right up there as well. We've had, since we've been in there for 9 years, we've been in the Premier League. We've had 3 years in Europe. We've had 100 million cash injection from Kretinsky. And we've had 100 million cash injection from Declan Rice. And now we arrive at the 9th year and we are financially fucked. How is that possible?
All I would say is, Nick, it costs a lot of money to keep certain people quiet.
Yeah, you reckon?
So that's why I would probably say where the money goes. But anyway,
yeah,
I know.
You're probably not far wrong, mate. You're probably not far wrong.
You know, when obviously with you know the deal of the century that we allegedly had at London Stadium, which looked good at the time, but obviously now not so much. But do we know the figures of how much we make revenue on match days?
No,
because that's all profit, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? When you compare it to obviously over the course of the season. You know, I'm guessing
one thing I do know, where we're out of pocket, although we pay minimal rent, where the likes of Tottenham and all these others, they make a fortune from food and beverage. We don't.
We don't.
Because that's all outsourced and that's all part of, you know, that's the stadium operators that make. I think we get a portion of it, but we don't make all the money from that. You know, that's, you know, food and beverage.
That's not going to really, because of the cost other clubs have to run their stadiums, which we don't have, obviously.
Yeah,
we don't lose out in that respect because the food and beverage isn't going to make us, I wouldn't have thought, as much as what it would cost to run a stadium on match day. I wouldn't have thought so. I don't know. But I would guess that we do, you know, have a decent amount of revenue coming in on match days that doesn't equate to, you know, any less than what we pay a year. Do you know what I mean, for the rent? So you've got to take that into account on top of the European seasons, the trophy, Declan Rice, like I say, the 100 million injection from Kretinsky. It fucking stinks. And not to mention, obviously, you know, the money we get from the TV rights and stuff like that. You know,
because Rick, it just don't make sense when you look at it like that.
No, I think, but
it don't make fucking sense.
I think if you look at the players we buy and they sell for less money, you know, all other clubs have got either youth players that come through, like we did with Declan, but a good handful of those, and not every player you buy that you sell on for a loss, which is pretty much all right, kudos, we got a little bit of a profit, but
Well, do you know, he was
£100 million player, weren't he? So we
he
even
was
fucked that up.
he was only the 4th player, Kudus, that we've signed under Sullivan that we've made a profit of.
And we could have made double. We could have made double at one point.
Should have, yeah.
And we allowed him to devalue, and he would have carried on devaluing.
Oh, it's fucking tragic, isn't it? And that all comes back to Ben. That all comes back to the managers, doesn't it? Because if you get managers in that don't develop players, then you're not gonna make any profit from your fucking players.
Yeah, like back to what Ricky said with players that you lose money on. Felipe Anderson, we bought for 40 million. We sold him for 2 million. That is ridiculous. Yeah, and that's just one player. Or Cornet.
Kilman.
Yeah, Kilman, 40 million. We'll probably end up selling him for 5 million or something like that.
I mean, what hurt us was especially the likes of Halem and Skamaka that we sold at a massive loss literally a year after they joined.
Yeah.
We've lost the best part of half the fee within a season. That is terrible business. But that comes down to the manager, as we know, that doesn't develop players and devalues them as opposed to increasing their values. But then it comes from Sullivan for getting his managers in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So it just stinks. But yeah, I just think this where the money goes, that's the kind of questions that need answering. Why are we in this situation? You moved us from Upton Park to this stadium. We shouldn't be in a situation in 10 years' time, literally potentially staring relegation in the face this season.
And what infuriates me though is when you listen to Avram, when you listen to like I listened to as much of it as I could, like the Brady interview. When you double that one up with the Sky Sports one that she did as well with Jack Sullivan, with a podcast that she did. There's no accountability there, is there? They talk about things as if it's like, oh, poor us. You know, we're on the floor. You know, we try our best. We really care. We really care. Oh, fuck off. You care. You don't care about anything. You certainly don't care about us.
Of course they don't care. Like, why else? They're lending. You know, we know that they lend the club money so they get the interest back from the club.
Yeah.
You know, they don't care that. You know, that we sell out 65,000 tickets, but you know, only 55,000 people turn up. You know, they don't care.
No.
They don't care about the home fans. They don't care that it's so-called vibrant. She said it's not vibrant. It's boring.
Did you hear that, Rick? What she said there? She said the London Stadium has
it's not, mate. It's like fucking.
It has a lovely vibrant. It has a lovely vibrant atmosphere in the London Stadium. She's.
Do you know what I said to my mate? Because he said. Because he can't make Friday either, and we was both joking about sort of sadly being relieved they're not going. And I said, for once, can you imagine Tottenham coming over Kudus as a fucking.
We're gonna get hurt.
And that's the only game I'll be happy to stand next to that wall, not having to see them cunts, because I can see them.
We're gonna get fucking hurt, mate. It's gonna be brutal, and I do think in that game, I do think they're gonna come out to make us. They're gonna come out to hurt us as well. I don't blame them. You know, we're there for the fucking taking. You know, we played against. Look, no disrespect to Sunderland, none whatsoever. But they're not good.
They'll struggle this year. They will.
They're not good.
We made them look like Brazil, mate.
No, they're not good. We're you know, and yes, this style that he plays, if he can get it down to, I don't know, so that it's efficient. Then maybe if it's going to work against anyone, it will work against teams that come onto us. You would think, you know, so we can counter attack. But then again, I go back to that. How the fuck can you counter attack if you ain't got no pace up front? I just don't see how this. I don't see how this works. The long ball to Diouf, for instance, you know, the Premier League, the clubs, they're clever as fuck. So say, for instance, Diouf, his left foot does come alive in the next game, and he gets 2 assists. He does a Kudus. You know, and he whips balls in. The next Premier League game, he'll have 2 men on him, and then we've got no threat then because Wan-Bissaka can't cross a road. You know,
where's that Moyes got found out in the end, wasn't it? You know,
yeah,
done well, and then the system got found out, and there was no plan B.
That's it. It don't take them long. It don't. They've all got fucking teams of analysts that watch the opposition.
There's only one really style of play that suits a slow team, and that's 4-4-2 and long balls. Hit your target man, full crook, and that's alarming to think that we're coming full circle back to Big Sam now. We don't want to see that.
I think I would rather watch Big Sam ball than this, because at least then I don't know. I think this is worse.
But this
I
is
mean,
how sad it is. Like to be careful what you wish for, and that's been fucking rammed down our throat.
The
Because
thing is,
I have
I
to hold
was
my hand
surprised
up and say I hate Moyes, but I'd rather him still here. But that's not saying I don't think we should have got rid of him. It's just how the fuck
Yeah.
we go from that.
If you watched the game yesterday with Leeds, you wouldn't be saying I wish he was still here, mate. Half time, no shots on goal, 0.00 xg. They had 2 touches in the opponent's box. Leeds were just all over him. That was in 45 minutes. I was watching that thinking, fucking hell.
I definitely wouldn't want him back, mate. It's just how we've gone from him 2 managers on the spin to nowhere near.
Even under Moyes, we had our moments, didn't we?
We did.
Well, at least I had someone to hate
There
as
were
well.
there were some
I
good
can't hate
there were
that.
some good moments.
Yeah, there was good moments before he got found out, really. But then obviously when it did, then that's when it really hurt us. Where we was getting battered 5 and 6 nils and stuff. But talking about Potter and how boring it is, are we actually surprised when we know the stats there that he only creates 2 big chances a game?
No, I didn't know much about him before we was linked with him, and then I done some reading on him, and I went, fuck no. I thought in my head before I read up on him, I don't know why, I had it in my head he was an attacking manager. And then when we was linked with him, I read up, I went on a few forums, looked at a few sort of detailed scout reports about his style of football. I was like, fuck off. That's going to be awful. It's going to be and that's at Brighton as well. So no, I had no. It's gone worse than what I thought it was going to go. Is what I will say. I didn't want him, but I didn't think he would collapse like this. I never foresaw that he would be this bad.
I'm hearing a lot of things about, again, like under Lopetegui, people are saying the players need to start taking more responsibility, this, that, and the other. If I'm these players, I'm probably sick to the back teeth of having 3 shit managers consecutively. And I'm fed up. I'm probably thinking I just want to get out of it now. What I mean? Because you want to be able to be your professionals. You want to be able to perform as best as you can. And you're being restricted by these fucking dickhead coaches that keep coming in and not allowing you to do your job properly.
No.
Because they want to look good. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I wouldn't begrudge Paqueta moving on.
No, I wouldn't at all.
3 years if it weren't obviously for that charge.
And I don't think
he deserves to be that type of player.
Yeah. I don't think he's purposely gone to the board and says, I want to go. I'm ready to go now. I don't believe any of that shit about him evaluating his options. He's only doing that because, well, there was that offer from the Saudi club, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And they put it to him. So now he's thinking, hang on a minute. Well, they want to sell me now. I think he would give us a season if he had a choice.
He came out and said that he would. And his missus did as well. And I think what he did there, I think he was quite clever because I think that Paqueta does have a connection with the fans. I don't think Kudus ever really did, but I feel like I think Paqueta does, because we went through the European journey together, and I think he saw the way that Kudus was ostracised and the way that with what happened, and I think he was quite clever with what he did. He's come out and he's gone, look, I will stay, and go, and what he was saying was, if I go, it's because they're selling me.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what he was saying. I think he doesn't want to sort of destroy his relationship with the fans, but they'll do their best to do that anyway. If it's around about the time he's going to go, they'll shit on his legacy as well.
Unfortunately, we're going to get some fans as well that'll be glad to see him go because they see him as the fucking problem.
See it now, mate. You see it, mate. And I saw it earlier on. Right, there was a poll that someone sent me. It was run by an account on Twitter. I can't think what account it was. This guy's got about 5,000 followers. There was only about 300 votes on this thing. And it was, do you sell Paqueta? Do you cash in now? It was 50-50.
That's a fucking joke. But
in
saying
the situation that we're in now.
I think what's the problem is he's not decided to down tools or purposely play poor. It's the system that he's in, which we know is restricting him, which is making him look bad. He's getting frustrated because he can't do what he needs to do. So then fans are on his back thinking he's the fucking problem. Let's get in another midfielder, a Potter midfielder, and all of a sudden things are going to change. No, it's not. I don't give a fuck who we've got in that team. Things ain't going to change because Potter won't change. The system doesn't work.
I don't see how people can have that. Some people just don't understand football, as far as I'm concerned. And if you've got a midfield, if your team is set up in a deep defensive way and 90% of the team are behind the ball and they're not progressing forward, and you've got one midfielder who specialises in passing sideways and backwards, that's all he does. And you've got other midfielders whose instinct is to go forward. Which midfielder is going to look better? It's the one who passes sideways and backwards.
Yeah.
But he's doing fuck all.
Yeah.
He's doing nothing. He's just sort of holding on to the ball.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll tell you what. We'll close it down with Chelsea. Ben, I'll go to you, mate. What are your thoughts for Chelsea?
Oh, God. I reckon we're going to get battered. I reckon it's probably going to be a 5 or 6.
You reckon that bad?
Yeah, well, all their players have put on like social media that they're ready to start the season and stuff like that. So, they're going to come out and batter us, I reckon.
They've had their warm up against Palace, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, they're not happy they didn't win, so they're going to come out and batter us.
Oh, fucking hell. Well, I'm not going to disagree. Avram, what about you, mate?
I think we'll get slapped up. They battered Palace in terms of like shots on target, and they got they only drew. I mean, what's going to happen against us when they pepper us? I think we're going to get slapped up 4-0 at home.
Yeah, not great. Rick, what about yourself, mate? You ain't going to give a shit because you're going to be on a beach somewhere in Ibiza.
I won't. I suppose come Saturday. I think 3 or 4 they're going to get easily, and I don't see us scoring. So
no, I don't. Definitely not. Adam, give us some hope.
I think the system that Potter plays, it should suit a team against Chelsea.
Yeah,
right. But I still think that they are going to absolutely wallop us if they score early doors. I think you'll probably see. I think you'll see a walkout at halftime.
Yeah, I'm going to go 5. 5.
I'm thinking 5-6. 4-0 at halftime. And then
I'm going to go. And the thing is, they're not going to stop either because they've got like 1 million players. So they could the teams that score in the first half, they'll pull off, and the ones that come on, they're going to want to fucking get their numbers up, and they're going to see us. We're going to be like, oh, it's not going to be good.
If they play that Esteval on the right hand side against Diop, mate, he's going to have a torrid time.
Just so you know, that Esteval played in the same team as Guilherme in Palmeiras together. Yeah,
and Hendrick, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's in their team, in their first team. Fucking mad. Right, let's go through the fixtures. Right, I'm going to make you all make a prediction, a very morbid prediction, because we're all saying Potter's going to go. Right, so what game do you think Potter is going to? What game do you think is going to be the one where he goes? Right, so we've got. I'm going to be optimistic if we get beat. I'm not hoping we get beat, by the way. I want us to beat Chelsea. But if he's going to fail, I want a quick death. I want this over and done with. I don't want to go through this shit all season. I'm going to be really optimistic and say that if we get slapped bad enough against Chelsea, I think there's going to be such a bad reaction inside that fucking stadium. I can feel something building this week already. Something bad is going to happen if we don't get any sort of performance and we get battered in that place. I don't think it will just be a walkout. I think it could get quite tasty in there. Whether that's us starting on the ball or whether it's us fucking fighting amongst ourselves in the crowd, I think he could go after Chelsea. But failing that, you've got Wolves. So you've got Chelsea, Wolves, Forest, West Ham. Fuck's sake. You've got Chelsea, Wolves, Forest, Tottenham, Palace, and then Everton. Do you think it will last until the Everton game, Ben?
No.
You don't think he'll last that
long?
No,
I think, what was it? It was Chelsea. We'd lose Chelsea. It wouldn't surprise me if we beat Wolves on penalties or something.
Yeah.
And that gets him a couple more games.
You think Tottenham? Then you got Forest and Tottenham.
Yeah, I reckon we'll lose to Forest and then battered by Tottenham, and then that'll be it.
Do you think Tottenham at home could be the fucking fuse?
Tottenham will be the one, I reckon.
What do you reckon, Avram?
Yeah, I think the same, exactly the same as Ben. I think getting battered, especially by your arch rivals, will tip everyone over the edge, I think, and it will get ugly in there, and it will draw media attention. Unfortunately, yeah, probably the ball will just give a knee-jerk reaction and sack Potter there and then, I think. By which point, I think it will be too late to get any manager that really wants to take the job at the club, and we'll probably get a caretaker manager.
That's 13 days into September. The window's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, dark times ahead, I think.
Adam, what do you reckon, mate? What's your prediction? What game is he going to go?
I'm just looking at the fixtures, and you mentioned the Everton game, which, to be fair, we would probably lose.
Yeah, it's away as well.
It's away. But then the game after that's home to Arsenal. Now, he's not going to replace a manager and give a new manager a team like that. So we'll keep Potter in for that game.
Mate, of course he will. Are you telling me he thinks about soft landings? No,
I don't know. But then he'll probably he'll probably end up getting a point against Arsenal, which kind of resets things again, doesn't it?
Mind you, I've had 2 amazing away days at Arsenal the last two years.
It could be one of those unexpected results, where he's on his last legs here, and he pulls out a result, and then you look at it, Brentford. I don't know. I'm looking, mate, and it probably could be mid-December. There
is a run of games right in October. Sorry, Rick, I'll come to you in a second. There's a run of games after Arsenal where you've got Brentford at home, you've got Leeds away, then you've got Newcastle at home, and then you've got Burnley at home. So there could be 3 and 4 wins here.
And you could look at it exactly. That's what I'm saying. So after the Arsenal game where he saved his skin, then there could be a couple of wins there potentially. Then all of a sudden we're getting into December. Do you know what I mean?
That's just you're talking about a Moyes type scenario.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I feel, and it's all because we know David Sullivan ain't going to put his hand in his pocket, realise the situation that we're in now, and say, look, enough's enough. Because you look at the start of the season, everyone thinks clean slate, right? Yeah. But you tend to have a clean slate once you've had, notice things in pre-season. You've had, a fair few players coming in and some deadwood going out and things like that. So you start the season off really excited, but we haven't had that. Yeah. We've had nothing but frustration on top of what we've seen, and in pre-season hasn't changed. So in my opinion, it's not a clean slate. It's a continuation of what's happened when he came in. So in theory, you'd hope that we don't want to hope to get battered by Chelsea. It's probably going to happen, but you would hope at that point he pulls the trigger. In which case, if he does, we're still in the transfer window at this point. Get a decent manager in, keep some of our best players, and attract other better players.
That's the thing. It still isn't too late to do that. We're still there. We're still there. So you're not going to predict when he's going to go, basically, is what you're saying. You're thinking he could last a full fucking season, Adam.
Mate, I hope he don't. But I just, but this is where, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm on the fence. My heart would say after Chelsea, if not Chelsea, definitely Tottenham.
So you reckon he would still be here if he lost, just say, like, doomsday, we didn't get a single point up until the Everton game. You think he could still be here? We'd be rock bottom.
We would be rock bottom. You're right, absolutely. And there will be people chomping at the bit to get rid of him, me included. But I just think to myself, I mean, the Everton game is only one more game extra than what I thought we would get 0 points until anyway.
Yeah,
I didn't think we'd get any points. Potentially 1 point, which was against Sunderland. Well, obviously we know what happened there. But up until the Palace game, I don't think we was going to get any points anyway. I couldn't see where it was coming from. So one more game, which is the Everton game, which I think we will probably lose. So yeah, I think he could still be here up until Everton.
Oh, that's fucking miserable, isn't it? That's miserable. Well, I've had enough of you, Adam. Right, Ricky. Ricky, what do you reckon?
Judging by what we're seeing, the fact we've got thumped 3-0 by a newly promoted team, I can't see, like we said, about any other result than a thumping Chelsea. I genuinely think if we get to Tottenham and have another thumping, I can't. Yeah,
it's going to fucking explode in that place.
I can't see how, like, it's not just about where you're at on the table and not having no points. It's that you've just been fucking smashed to pieces week in, week out. I think that would, and if it wasn't, worst case scenario is that, like Adam says, we scrape a surprise result and then you get that 6-game cycle every fucking, like Moyes. And even Loppy, went on longer than it should have. You know,
It did, yeah. And he will do that. I think if he feels like there's any hint of a chance that he could survive with a manager, no matter how miserable it is, he'll stick with it, won't he? He will just stick with it. But I mean, it is desperate times. But I suppose, look, to close it down, looking at West Ham the way things are, it is desperate times now. It really is now. Look, we've seen them before. You know, throughout time, we've been relegated. We've never won fuck all up until a few years ago. We've never really seen our team do anything. But what supporting West Ham was always about so much more than that. You know, like I'm assuming for all of us, it's all come from our parents. You know, you didn't have any choice when you're sort of growing up. It's kind of it's forced on you. You know, you become a West Ham fan. It's like it's in your DNA. You go over there with your family. I did. Like I go over there with me over at Upton Park with me dad, my sister, my brother, all my mates, my cousins, my uncle, and all them fucking great years and all them great memories. You know, and just everything about what West Ham was, because it wasn't just my family and my friends that I went over there with. It felt like it was all family over there. It did. And that's what we're saying now. When you look at what you've got now, that's why I'm predicting infighting, because I don't think we are like that anymore. I think it's divided now. It ain't a fucking family anymore. You never used to see West Ham fans fighting. We'd argue and have a debate, but you never used to see West Ham fans having a tear up with each other and stuff like that. But that's kind of all you see now. And I feel like they've done so much damage. They've done so much damage. I think they've made so much money out of us. And do you know what? Enough's enough. I just feel like just please, God, just sell up and go. I'm not gonna call you any names or anything like that, but you've done what you've done. How much more do you want to take from us? Just fuck off and go. Leave. I mean yourself, Avram, you know, you're have you got like a little message you want to give to them on that front?
Yeah. Same as you, fuck off and leave. Like you've ruined us, right, as a football club. You've ruined Birmingham. Like we can see you ain't really good at like owning a football club. So just sell up, because we don't want you there. There's a petition there for a reason, and by God, please sign it. Like whoever's watching this, you need to sign that like petition. We need to get them out. And like I know people go on about, oh, they don't think the petition is going to do anything. Well, you know what? Let's just try anyway, because we need to do something at least, you know, and we need to have that fight as West Ham fans to get these parasites out of the club. They've been milking us dry, sucking us dry for too long now, and we want our club back, and that's how I feel about it.
And Ben, yourself, obviously, you know, your thing is very much the same. You know, you go over there with your dad. That's sort of your thing that you do with him. It's heartbreaking what's happened and what's happening now, isn't it? And how we can see it going. The fact that at the start of this we're all talking about, let's just, you know, we'll take relegation, we'll take destruction to reset this.
Yeah. I'll same as Abraham. Just they need to sell up and go now, because they're not just destroying it for us; they're destroying it for the future generations as well. And it's not acceptable. They just need to go and sign the petition. Anyone, please.
Cheers, mate. Yourself.
Was that me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, mate. If any of Sullivan's cronies or anyone's watching this, if you're a big businessman, get out now while you can still make as much money as possible, because the well is truly running dry. If you carry on the way you're going, you're going to end up getting relegated and your value of the club will drop. So you won't make as much money. So be sensible and get the fuck out now. And anyone else that doesn't believe that the club, that the board are not responsible for the situation that we're in, you're a fucking idiot, and sign that petition. And that's all I've got to say.
And Ricky, yourself, I mean, like touching on something that Ben said there, the future generations. One of the sort of main reasons that John gave his season ticket up. His son Freddie plays for he's football mad. Now, he's 15, plays for Leighton Orient, loves West Ham. 14, sorry, loves West Ham, but he literally, they've been going since he was about 2, same as my kids were as well. And Fred said to him last, in the summer, he went, Dad, I don't want to go anymore. I'd rather go and watch Hornchurch or this, that, the other. And this is the thing, mate, isn't it? It ain't just us.
Well, that's what, I mean, like I said, from the outset, I've gone from 3 to 2. My daughter he's football mad and he was enjoying going West Ham. She just isn't enjoying it no more. The boy can take or leave it. I went and watched Billericay last season, and that's by far the best game of football I'd went and see. And it was shit football, but it was a
you getting your football fix.
Your football fix, yeah. And it was just a reminder of, am I going through the motions? And I think it classic kind of addict was all that got me over the line this year, and it was last minute. And so I do fear if it doesn't change in the next 12 to 18 months, and I mean change from the top, not change manager and a little run, which may be past turning point, because it can happen. Clubs can not be the one that they used to be before, mate. Do you know what I mean? And I think we're close to it. I know what Adam's saying, that fans will come back, but we have to be careful, because if we stay just Premier League, there's always going to be enough tourists to replace, and the old school West Ham fans and the ones that are still there not getting on, like say they're fighting with each other. So it has to. For me, that's the reality. It's got to change in the next 12 to 18 months. I just don't see it comes back,
because it'll implode, won't it? It's going to implode over. It will. They're unless what they want is to fucking kill the club stone dead. They've drained it dry. Just go. Right. Anyway, gentlemen, it's been a good chat. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Ben, Avram, Ricky, Adam.
Cheers, Nicholas.
Cheers, everyone. Right, speak short soon. Right, hang on. The latest of painful games under Graham Potter. We've been called negative. We've been called this. We've been called that. You keep on banging the drum, this, that, the other. That's what we've been labelled. People sneering at us, looking down our fucking nose at us. It isn't pessimism at this stage. It's realism. It's being fucking realistic. That is what this is. Anyone with, as far as I'm concerned, with half a brain could see how this was going to go. The window and this football. Barring a miracle and Potter transforming into a different manager, this was always going to happen. Always. Always going to happen. Now, look, I know that it's our impulse. We want to feel positive about it. I get it. But how much more are we going to keep on just fucking being mugged off by these people? I've said before already, we foresaw this. We did the 24-hour stream before the window opened. I was thinking I'm going to get at least 10,000 signatures on this petition. That's what I believe. But we didn't get anywhere fucking near it. There's about 6,000 signatures on there, which is a disgrace. And do you know why? Because with a couple of channels aside, James from E20, Dad's Our Job, and a couple of others, like Luke from the West Ham World, you get 20, 30,000 signatures on a petition, then that goes to the media, it puts Sullivan under the spotlight, it puts him under pressure. But what does he do? He controls a narrative via his favourite fucking idiots. Whatever we talk about on a day-to-day basis is what Sullivan wants us to talk about. Tell him this, Sean. And then someone will release an article. Certain people start making fucking videos about it. It's deflection tactics. The whole way through, we've been pushing this because we could see how it was going to be going. And then you've got other people that are pushing against it, going, nah, it's going to be good. Something's got to change. It really has. But I am sick to death. As fans, as a collective, we have to take our fair share of responsibility in this. We do. And I mean, I'm putting myself in that. We do. Because as a collective, we haven't done enough. Like I said, there's been a petition out there that there has, but people keep on listening because they're like moths to a flame with all the shiny new fucking stories that we're doing this and we're doing that. We never learn. It's time that we did fucking learn and we made a stand. We're fucked. Anyway, look, that's it from me. I'm going to go. Please sign a petition. Please. I'm going out for a curry. See you later.
Listen, Sullivan has ruined this club. I'll tell ya. He can fuck right up out of it. Fuck off, Sullivan.